Hello and welcome to another Playing with Pixels video. I'm Mitch and joining me is Russell, once again.
PlayStation!
So, on this video we're talking about what can we expect from PlayStation in 2020, which there's a lot to expect. We're also making up some things we want to see, but for the most part we're starting with what we realistically expect to see based on facts given to us by PlayStation themselves.
I mean, facts are a good place to start.
So, the first thing we can expect is Dreams releasing on the 14th of February 2020.
It's good it's getting an official release date, finally. Like, it's been in that, was it early access creative mode thing?
For about a year?
Quite a while now. Yeah.
I bought it this year but haven't played it.
I did the same thing.
Oh no.
I literally haven't even turned it on.
Neither have I.
I bought it, downloaded it, I'm like, it's someday.
We had the intention. I mean, technically we already own it, so when it does come out, we good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, the Dreams creative game building interactive movie thing that is Dreams by Mini Molecule is definitely out next year because they've told us.
It's going to be interesting to see once it's officially announced if there's suddenly a bigger audience, or like it just catches on and go like, oh, someone made this crazy game. Like, we've got, like, think of like Dota, and these games are like they were built using mods. Think of like if there's a game built in Dreams that like people go crazy for, and suddenly it just kicks off. Like, oh, it's that Dream game people made. It's
that their Dreams game that some guy made. Yeah,
I mean, it's like Dreams has so much potential, but it's just like, will it actually come to fruition? I don't know. It might not. It might just be the game that comes out and people just move on.
Dreams looks fairly complicated to build stuff. Yes. I guess the more people who make assets, the more there's available. Yeah. But it definitely does not look as easy as like Super Mario Maker, where you pick a block, you place it down, and that's it.
Definitely not. Mario Maker is Mario Maker on a concept level. Everyone understands what Mario is, so it's already easy.
Yeah.
Dreams has seemingly every concept imaginable, including a Mario game. So it's
everything, including Sonic. Like, I've seen all sorts of games.
It has that weird aspect of like, we've basically built a development tool for a console. Why not a PC?
Yes.
Like, that's the problem this game has. Where it's like, why did you not just make it for a PC and maybe PlayStation releases something on PC? I don't know.
Have you seen, real quick, have you seen the Major League Baseball game they're doing is coming to other platforms? So then now it's made at Sony San Diego, but that's coming to other platforms, and Xbox and Nintendo tweeted baseball related things after that. So Dreams coming to PC is probably one of those games that could make sense.
It could. And it could be something that comes later, Like,
it's definitely later.
I'm not sure how much VR support they have off the bat, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's another one where it's like they get the game out and then start pushing, you can create it all in VR and it's maybe more intuitive that way, or you can create sculptures and stuff really easy or something.
I guess
and then maybe PC at the end. Yeah.
The longevity for this game is if you can actually make a game in Dreams and somehow take it from Dreams to its own thing. Like, that's a thing Media Molecule want to do, but imagine
it sounds like Media Molecule wants that, but they're not sure how to do it. They're like, we want to do this, but there's potential licensing issues, separations of the game, of the free content, all this kind of stuff that could make it difficult to do that.
It's a lot of
it definitely sounds like they want to try. Yeah.
Yeah. What they want and what is possible is also achievable in Dreams. But yeah, so that's like the first thing we can expect. Second thing is Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is a limited time exclusive. Wonder where that's going after that. But it's coming out in March, and look, we've spoken about this a lot on this channel. It looks phenomenal. We're very excited.
Yeah. I mean, it's similar to this year. I was like, Kingdom Hearts was my most anticipated going in. That's mine for next year. So I was like, you get it pretty early. Nowhere to go down but downhill from there, but that's not going to happen.
Everything will be worse.
Yeah, but at the very, that's the one. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm so excited for that. And it's just a shame that other games are releasing around that time period, because I'd like to play those as well, but I will be flown into that one.
You can get through a game real quick, so they might still have a chance. Depends how long it is, we don't know. It's entirely set in Midgar, is basically assumed at this point. They haven't shown anything to make us think otherwise. And yeah, like, it's guaranteed next year. There's no way it's not coming out on the date they say.
I mean, I don't think it's impossible they delay it. There's no way it's not coming out next year. I don't think it's impossible they go, it's going to come out May. Just do a Last of Us, basically. Go, push it ahead a little bit.
I guess it is possible, yeah. But
yeah. I doubt it, though. It definitely sounds like they're confident with that release date. They've had quite a few trailers and things saying, like, that's the date. So I'd be surprised if they push it.
Yeah, they keep saying it. They've been saying it at E3, and they're continually saying it. If there was going to be a delay, they would have announced it by now. Maybe in a trailer that you didn't realise was a delay, like Ori did at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
It's like, it's delayed. Not related to this console, it's not coming here.
Yeah, just that subtle release date change. You go,
like,
that was sneaky with that one.
I know what you've done.
Sneaky.
Bit sneaky. There is a game that has been delayed that we can also guarantee next year, which is The Last of Us 2, which could have been out by now, possibly, but they delayed it to May, the end of May, basically June, which is very close to E3, a bit like the first one.
Extremely close to E3, yeah.
A bit like Last of Us 1. Yeah, so it's going to be, people are going to be talking about The Last of Us through E3.
Last of Us is that game where it's like, I can't imagine a situation where it's not a 10 already. Where I'm like, it's almost guaranteed to be one of the best games, if not the best game next year.
Yeah, I have absolute faith in Naughty Dog.
Yeah, like, and it's crazy. Like, there's so many good games that year, and like Last of Us is like still like I go, it probably is going to be one of the best, if not the best game that year.
Yeah, there's a chance of that being Game of the Year, because like
it's just
it's definitely like The Last of Us 1 had the combat was probably its worst aspect. Now they've shown it. Everything about this game looks like The Last of Us 1, just better.
Way better. Yeah.
Better in every single way. Like, the story should be just as good as well, and that story is like, you talk about video game stories, and The Last of Us maybe is one of the best, if not the.
Definitely one of the best. Is it the best? Up to debate, but I would say one of the best for sure.
Yeah, like, man, Naughty Dog can make a game. They can make a mean game. Even when they make spin-offs like Lost Legacy for Uncharted, that game was like, this was still really good. And there are aspects of that will definitely come into The Last of Us 2, as we've already seen from the E3 trailer of last year.
I mean, it's like, the AI is like a huge improvement now. Like, it's super impressive. Like, there's no other game I can see as good as that, where it's just like, man, this looks incredible. Like, you're literally going under, like, a car, and then, like, they're looking for you, randomly talking to each other, communication, they all got names and stuff. They react when you kill them, they react when you shoot them in certain spots. Like, everything is like...
Far about their leg, they grab their leg, oh my god.
I know, it's just, it looks ridiculous. Like, how are they even achieving this? And then at the same time, for where, like, this is a Naughty Dog game, they will have an incredible story, performance, motion capture, artistic vision, like, everything will just be, like amazing, immaculate.
Which is, it's tough to follow that up as another exclusive.
It's tough. It's going to be interesting. I'm like, if all these other games are on the caliber of Last of Us, then next year might be one of the best years ever for gaming.
Maybe, like, think of some of the best years like 2004, like Halo 2 and Half-Life, and like, there's so many other games that year. But next year could be incredible. And the game following The Last of Us, which is definitely what game we expect, is Ghost of Tsushima.
Well, Ghost of Tsushima is open world, Japanese samurai authentic style, where it's like it's going for an entirely different vibe. Even though I would still say that's the Sony vibe, because so many Sony games are like that kind of.
Yeah, but they do enough with them to make it not feel like, it's just God of War again.
Like, Sony has like this thing where it's like, it just, every one of those games appeals to me. If you go third person, I'm like, yes, you've got me interested. And they go, like, third person, like, action adventure. I go, oh yeah, these are all things appealing to me.
Keep going. Cool open one.
They go like, okay. You've got mocap performances, like real performances, not like video game ones. Like, these days, I'm like, they're not as common as they used to be. Admittedly, everyone's getting pretty damn good at these things. I think Uncharted is still, or not Uncharted, but I guess Uncharted with Last of Us, Naughty Dog comparison, like up the best at that.
Definitely.
But there's definitely some other things going on. Like Death Stranding's impressive. God of War, obviously Santa Monica. Like, there are definitely quite a few studios that are like getting extremely real performances. You go like, oh yeah, these these are like movies. Like, no comparison. Like, these are just as good as a movie in terms of the way they capture the actor's performance. It isn't just like
better than
render in and change it.
Yeah, it's like when you think of God of War, like Kratos looks real, like Atreus looks real, like everything goes to Tsushima, the character looks real. Last of Us, they look real. There is, overall quality wise, PlayStation just are untouchable by anyone else at the moment.
It feels that way at times. I mean, like, Nintendo's gameplay first, and like that's where it has the hook. It's like gameplay's excellent on Nintendo system, but the stories is where they tend to be lacking. Yeah, there's Fire Emblem and stuff, but
there's games with story, but like not to the caliber of PlayStation.
Yeah, not that cinematic level where it's just like everything on Sony feels like it's a cinematic experience. Spider-Man, God of War,
It really is. Horizon,
you know, like it's like Death Stranding, like everything. It's like it all feels like a cinematic thing where it's like,
especially Death Stranding.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
He wants to make movies, or Kojima. So yeah,
He does.
That's a guaranteed thing. That's what we expect. So they should.
For sure, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. They should definitely be returned to E3 because I reckon they skipped this year because they had nothing of note to really go like, here's what we have. It's like, because you already know what we have. But E3, like, past those releases, what do we know? And we know nothing, Jon Snow.
And the reason we know nothing, Mitch, is because something on the very close horizon, or at the end of the year at least.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
The big one. Next generation. The PlayStation 5. Which will be probably announced and released next year if they want to go against Xbox Series X, which we've already seen now.
Yeah, well, Xbox is definitely locked in that date. It seems like probably November is going to be when the Xbox
I would also
Series
say
X
November.
comes out. Yeah, PlayStation, I'm not sure right now. It could go November, but I don't know. I feel like they're going to go December for some reason.
Yeah, it's like, does Sony feel the need to answer Microsoft's call? Does Gondor call for aid and does Rohan answer? This is basically what it is.
Light the beacons.
The beacons make no sense. Absolutely. Do they live up there anyway? Not important. We'll definitely see the PS5 and all its PlayStation-y glory.
Yeah, I expect to see the console officially released and probably revealed.
Revealed.
Start of the year, probably Feb, March.
Yeah, I would. Those sentiments make sense to me.
Yeah, E3 they will show whatever left for PS4, which there will be other games. There must be. There can't be nothing after June for the PS4.
Could be though. Like there is an absolute chance that they've gone like everything past this point now in development is for the 5.
Yeah. Well, what I expect to be the case is you'll get that cross again, where you go like, here's Assassin's Creed Ragnarok, which has already been just officially confirmed by Ubisoft multiple times.
It's happening.
It's like, that'll probably come out in both. You're like, here's that and here's the PS5 version. Batman, fingers crossed. I'm like, man, it's been like 5 years. I'm just like, they keep teasing the heck out of this game. Where is this Batman game? I think it was like, it has to be next gen. It's got to be one of the next gen, possibly launch title-y thing, because I'm like, it's been a long time, and they keep teasing it but not announcing it, which it just makes me think it has to be next gen. Otherwise, why haven't they revealed it?
Yeah, it's like it's probably met the threshold of, okay, do we release it towards these next consoles, or do we just release it on the next consoles? And to me, Rocksteady taking so long, it makes sense for them to wait. Now.
Well, and even that's not clear if it's all the teasers have been from Warner Bros. Montreal. It's possible it's not Rocksteady's game. Rocksteady's making something else entirely new.
Which means we're getting two things. One from a really good developer and one from Batman.
One from everything except from the previous Batmans. But it's really like, I'm pretty sure it's 5 years since the Batman Arkham Knight game. It's like,
that is a long time to develop something.
I know. It's just like, man, I'm really itching for a Batman game. I need that new one.
We've had Spider-Man. It was so good. Now we need Batman back.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, it's one of those ones. I mean, that's basically along the lines of what I'm kind of expecting. Like, there's going to be, Call of Duty is another one. There's games that you can just guarantee every year that'll have that cross.
Need for Speed,
type.
Which seems to somehow keep coming out as an annual franchise. It's like all the annual franchises will do that thing that happened last gen, which is they released Assassin's Creed Black Flag, then at the time they wanted, then they re-release it for the next one. But I guess the question is, in terms of backwards compatibility, they say the PlayStation 5 is fully compatible. And so in my mind, it's just like, obviously Ghost of Tsushima will then work on the PS5. But the question is, like, what changes upon swapping that disc over? If you even swap the disc.
Next gen now, it's all about patches and shit. And just go, all right, here's a 50 gig patch for Ghost of Tsushima to make it the 4K. PS5 version. Yeah, native 4K and pre-frame rate or whatever they want to do, and like that's kind of how it's going to work. Because I mean, until we really know that, it's hard to work out what's the next gen is going to be. Because right now, I go, the fact they're releasing Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima before next gen, but so close, makes me think either they have extremely strong titles to reveal for next gen, or they're just going to bank on the fact that you can replay these games again on the next gen much better. It just works.
It just works. Fallout 76, it just works. Yeah, like. They have announced backwards compatibility is a thing. They've announced the specs. They're basically sort of on par with the Xbox again. Curious if we get that weird, like, the spawning of Digital Foundry, because they really early appeared over, like, which one's better, which by often it was the PlayStation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, YouTube channels, gaming things, everyone's going to have a field day on comparisons between the Xbox Series X.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be great.
PlayStation 5.
Yeah, like last generation,
a lot of that.
didn't have a YouTube channel, so I'm pretty keen to make some other garbage like that.
And in the meantime, Nintendo's just kind of chilling there on its own little island going, don't talk about us.
Don't talk about us.
Don't compare to us. We're last gen, kind of. We're our own generation.
We are comparing. We'll get there. But yeah, it's just PS5 raises a lot of questions, and it's definitely the most interesting thing that we can see next year by far. A new console is always cool. It's hard to believe we're already up to it. It just feels like last gen lasted so much longer. Maybe we're just old.
I don't know. I just think time just goes so quick these days. It's just like there's so much. There's just so much content to consume. There's just like time just goes so fast.
Yeah, where'd the year go? Honestly, yeah. PlayStation 5. So now we get into what can we sort of expect for the PS5, as well as the PS4. Because my next point is Bluepoint, who just made Shadow of the Colossus, haven't made anything since. But they love teasing stuff. They've teased stuff like Metal Gear Solid, Castlevania, Demon Souls.
I can't remember the exact quote they have, but it was something along the lines of it's a big IP. They've got something big. It could be, maybe they're making their own game, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's a remake of something.
They'll make their own game eventually.
Yeah, eventually they'll get there. Yeah.
For now, they're really good at remaking stuff. Like Shadow of the Colossus, like the new version of that, I was like, oh, what a good looking game.
Amazing. And
what solid remake.
All the above you mentioned, Castlevania, Metal Gear Solid. I'm like, I would be excited to see those remakes.
I want whatever Bluepoint's cooking up in the kitchen, the development kitchen. What do you reckon it is?
I don't know why, but when they first announced it, I just had the feeling it was God of War. I don't know why, but there was something in the time period. I can't remember if it was when God of War was coming out. I was looking back on the past of God of War at the time and thinking, man, if they like up-res these to like now, they would look incredible.
I mean, God of War 3 looks awesome, but
and then just because as good as God of War is as a standalone game, I think it does work as that. I wouldn't be surprised if they still want to we still want to kind of like really show like Kratos' aggression from the past and bring it to next gen consoles, and that's something God of War would be a real nice fit for that.
Fit the big IP thing. God of War's a big IP,
and it's big literally because there's a lot of big shit in that game.
A lot of big shit, like Titans and all sorts of things, like. Greek mythology is all about mostly fighting massive things, which we don't see in games as much anymore. Like even God of War 2018, you fight a dragon, but it's not like... It's nowhere near the start of God of War 3, where you're literally climbing Olympus.
Yeah, God of War 3 is like the pinnacle of just... It's almost like an Avengers Endgame, where it's just like, everything's just so over the top, because like this is the end of like that saga.
His power level's just over 9,000, like over 1 million, 1 billion, I don't know.
I was gonna say, it's like, it's way beyond 9,000, like he's probably gonna kill freaking Goku.
Yeah, he loves killing that Kratos. Modern Kratos is a bit different, a bit changed, kids change you. But like old Kratos, he is all about vengeance and killing, which would be cool. My desire is of Demon Souls to get a nice, get its chance in the sun that it never really had.
Definitely another very high probable chance of that one. It's like I'm trying to think. I'm like, is it likely? I'm like, because the thing with that one would be, as you said, give it another chance. Like a lot of people, obviously the Dark Souls craze has gone off the deep end. Like people are mimicking it. There's From Software's multiple games in that genre, I guess. Demon Souls was kind of the start. A lot of people missed it, didn't play it. It's something that could go like, this is where it all kind of started, really. I mean, obviously there were games before that, but not really. Not specifically in that genre, like the Dark Souls.
No, yeah, it's like King's Field. It's different. Like, Demon Souls is the father of them all. And you can now, like, Sekiro's Game of the Year, like, Bloodborne is loved. That was a PlayStation exclusive. Demon Souls makes sense. And there are a couple unique things in Demon Souls that make it really worth revisiting, in my opinion. Like the black and white states of the world is still a fascinating thing. And there is some really good design there. There's some shithouse swamps, though. Poison swamps I was going to say,
suck. I like how you often have to do specific things for special bosses, like that dragon... I can't remember what it's called, but the Dragon King thing. It was like, you had that physicality to it. Like... I think Sekiro had one thing kind of like that, where it's like a special boss. We have to do special mechanics to kind of deal with it. But But I like that aspect of like going like, oh, it's not just like, oh, you have to use all the mechanics you've known before. It's like, oh, here's something kind of different you got to solve.
Yeah.
And it had a lot of the bosses in that game were like that. Where you had a unique thing you had to do to actually deal with the boss. It wasn't just like, just if you're good enough, you can do it.
Yeah, which is what they've started doing now. But like, there are a lot of cool things in that game, like how they split up the world into those separate kind of areas that you then go into that area, you continue as much as you can, and you're like, I'll do this area. There's some definite unique things in Demon's Souls that are still cool. While it might be one of the worst ones, that's not to call it bad. It's just to say we have moved on a fair bit from this game. But there is so much unique stuff in that game that I think is worth highlighting to people who love Souls who never had a PS3.
And I definitely think for that reason, there's a strong possibility that is what Bluepoint's working.
And for that reason, it's possible.
It's like Bluepoint could be like a completely wild card, where it's just something like
it can be anything. Ape Escape.
Yeah, exactly. It's just something that you don't expect at all. Like, oh.
And now I guess we've got to talk about the biggest game on the PS5, which is Knack 3. Sony's baby.
Mark Cerny's heavily involved in PS4, PS5. Why not announce an Knack 3? Why not? You need a family game.
There is, you need a family game, and why not Knack? Probably in Cerny's contract is like, if a new console, we make Knack. And they're just like, we can't stop him. He just wants to make Knack. It's worse than any of the other games he used to work on.
Yeah, I mean, Knack was basically like a technical showcase. It's like, oh, look at all the separate parts and particles and things we can do with this Knack character. It would be funny to go like, oh, look, Knack 3. And like, as you said, it's one of those like trolly ones where it's just like, oh, everyone goes, oh, Knack 3, what the hell?
It's just become a meme now. I think if you make Knack 3 on the scale of like cities, he's like got bits of like buses and stuff in it. Maybe there's something cool in that. Then he absorbs a planet. Who knows? It's like
Knack gets a gritty reboot. It's like Cyberpunk future.
I'm back, motherfucker. Smoking, drinking, like... You just cut to like some dingy old place and there's just empty beer cans everywhere and they're just Knack on the couch. And then they just cut to Knack.
I'm thinking of like Beyond Good and Evil. Like it's like just this like real kind of like tonal vibe change almost, but still keeping the universe.
Yeah, completely.
Something like that.
It's like, whoa, this is very unexpected from Knack. Yeah, so getting out of the memes and the silly shit, I want to talk about Guerrilla Games because, number one, Horizon Zero Dawn is getting a sequel. It deserves a sequel because it is a fantastic game, and the robots are fantastic, and the story is way better than it had any right to be of being an apocalypse story. I'm not going to spoil it here, but if you haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn and you don't know what happens, like, play that game.
Like,
seriously.
Like, Aloy cemented herself straight away as, like, a PlayStation icon. When I play the game, I'm like, yeah, she's definitely going to be... you look at the PlayStation icons, and, like... I feel like for a while, like, it was, like, stuff we'd seen before. I was like, Nathan Drake was probably the most significant one in the PS3 generation. But otherwise, like, you're seeing God of War again. I guess you had Sackboy.
Sackboy? But was probably the new one.
I feel like this generation, you've got Aloy. Spider-Man's just kind of become one, I guess.
Bloodborne guy.
Exactly, Bloodborne guy. Yeah, the hunter. You've got these things. And the Ghost, we'll see what happens with Ghost of Tsushima, but I got a strong feeling the Ghost is going to be another icon.
Yeah, just curious how they do him. But, Aloy, she's a cool character. That game is very interesting. So the sequel is guaranteed based on how the game ends. And just curious what they can then do in the next game.
Yeah, as I say, every sequel, I just expect a lot of expansion. So I go, all right, now you can do all this underwater stuff and possibly aerial stuff. Maybe taking control of more dinosaurs in a more Odyssey sense.
More Zoids.
You could ride a couple.
Climb stuff.
Let's ride the Thunderjaw and really do something amazing.
It'll be a bigger world. Better have a Thunderjaw. You can tame them and make them your minions or something. So you could customize your own.
Oh, it's like Shadow of War, where you could control all of them and just have a massive army of mechanical dinosaurs.
That'd be really weird and really feel out of place. But it's possible. So Horizon Zero Dawn 2 was basically announced already. It hasn't been, or we expect it to be. Won't be a launch title though for the PS5. I
think it's too
early.
Yeah,
I mean, Horizon came out 2017.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that doesn't 3 years barely.
It's not impossible. It could be one.
But I think Sony takes their time. They don't rush stuff. They don't rush their studios, unlike other companies do, but they don't. So I guess Guerrilla's also big enough to what else could they be making? Like, the thing they used to do was shooters, and they did shooters pretty well.
Sony needs a shooter. You need one of everything for a launch, and they need a shooter. They've got two IP. They've basically only got two IPs. It's either Killzone or Resistance. Insomniac's probably not working on a Resistance, so unless someone else is, Bluepoint, that game isn't happening.
They wouldn't be making new one. They'd be remaking the old ones, I'd say. Yeah, so it's like, Killzone, will that be a launch title? Will we get the same repeat of this generation, not see another one?
It's certainly possible, but I think Guerrilla's grown as a studio, so there's a possibility if they do Killzone, it would be a lot better. Not that Killzone Shadowfall was bad, but there was nothing special about it. Like, I would call it almost an Xbox game, where it's like, it's fine, but there's nothing amazing about it. It just felt like a game that existed.
Graphically, like, wow, that game still looks good. That's just what Guerrilla's good at. Making games look good.
Well, Kojima thought so. He took their engine.
Took their smart. They have 250 employees, which is big enough to be working on multiple things. And they can collaborate. There's other studios, so... Yeah, so I guess that also moves us on to what Insomniac are doing, which they've been purchased by Sony as of 2019. Guaranteed they're working on a new Spider-Man, going off how that game ends, how that game sold, how that game's spoken about now. Like, there is still, like, Spider-Man is one of the best games of that year.
Definitely. I mean, it's one of their best-selling... I'm trying to think, is it their
if
best-selling?
Not the...
I recall now. Yeah, it might be.
It might be.
PS4 exclusive. So, yeah, there's no question that's what they're working on. Once again, I think that one is literally too soon. I think that game is probably... There's a chance you could do that game quicker than you could do a Horizon game. Because ultimately, Spider-Man's going to be in New York. Like, it's his location. You're not suddenly going to go like, oh, now he's going to the freaking... some other random city. Yeah, like, I mean, New York is his city. It's distinctly Spider-Man.
Bigger, more dense. There could be more to it.
Exactly. But they're going to... It's building on it much more. I feel like Horizon, they could very well just go like Uncharted areas. Just go like, oh, I'm going this way now. And it's all new landscape, all new monsters, all new everything. Obviously, you've got mechanics
different, but...
done. But
yeah, and mechanically, Spider-Man will play like Spider-Man. He'll swing like Spider-Man. Definitely agree with you. Like, they could get that game out really quick. But it's just, I don't think they're...
I mean, I'd give it... It's going to need probably at least 2 years, but I'm pretty sure that game can be finished much quicker than Horizon Zero Dawn could be finished.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the engine decimal. They won't be changing from it. They can definitely move everything over from it into the new thing. And, like, Aloy will still use a bow. She'll still use a spear, but she could have more weapons. There's a lot more to work with there, which could make development obviously take longer than Spider-Man, which... I don't know, you do add more of the comic side of things. You somehow get Marvel more involved to go like, but they already had like they didn't have the raft, but they had the.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course you have aspects of like, oh, here's the Sanctorum, Doctor Strange's thing. Like, there's obviously Avengers Tower, etc. All this like stuff that ties it in. But if I'm being honest, I like Spider-Man when he's by himself. I don't mind the occasional cameo, like Wolverine showing up with Spider-Man. Why not? Like it can work, but I don't like it being the focus. I like Spider-Man to be with his villains, with his characters. Similar to Batman,
Yeah.
Most time I don't like it when they mix.
Well, yeah, like the strong enough characters on their own have their own villains on their own that they don't need.
Spider-Man has so much characters to play with. There's so many characters in the universe that they're barely touched upon, really. I mean, I'd say they've done some of the most iconic ones, but they have not done some of the fan favorite ones like Venom. Although I would say that's a very strong likelihood for the sequel.
I would say there is a huge chance of Venom being involved.
I would always go 100% check guarantee of Venom being in that game.
I would bet everything I have on it right now on Venom being in that game.
Yeah,
and I would not get anything for it.
Definitely a lot of room to work with the characters Spider-Man has. There's a chance, there is the Avengers Marvel game that who knows if they will do a side thing. They said there's some Sony exclusive thing for that game. I would be surprised if it is Spider-Man. That would be pretty insane if they make him exclusive to that game.
Yeah, which would mean like crap and buying on that now.
but it could be as simple as the Spider-Man Insomniac skin being exclusive to that. It could just be that simple. And maybe this. I've forgotten the voice actor's name, but it could be him voicing the Spider-Man character as well.
Yuri Lowenthal,
yeah.
I got your name. Don't worry.
But it's that's where I expect Spider-Man to connect to the other ones, is through the Marvel's Avengers game, not through this the Spider-Man sequel.
Unless you have anything else to add, I want to talk about Bloodborne 2, which is unlikely and not going to happen.
No, Bloodborne 2, we could call that the end, I guess. But as you said, unlikely. Elden Ring.
Unlikely. Elden
Ring. How many
Ring.
games can From Software could do?
can't make everything at once.
But
So,
that being said,
yeah.
if you want Bloodborne 2, like, hell yeah, I do. Like,
I mean, yeah, you asked me to choose that or anything else would be Bloodborne 2. Maybe Sunshine 2. But for this instance of PlayStation, Bloodborne.
it wouldn't be the top of my list, but it would be. I'd probably say God of War, honestly, right now would be the top of my list. I'm like, man, I want a sequel so bad for that game. It's got so many loose threads. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to see where this goes. Like,
which Sonic Santa Monica aren't releasing next year.
Nah, definitely.
No way. That's why we sort of glossed over it, if you're wondering where it was.
But yeah, Bloodborne is definitely my favorite out of all the From Software games. Like, that's the one I like the most.
Third favorite, but I still love it. So yeah, and you can also expect Resident Evil 3, Persona 5 Royale. It's Royal. There's no Battle Royale Persona games, not yet. So you've done a lot of expecting, mostly a lot of anticipation, and a lot of assuming. But yeah, so if you like this video, do all the YouTube stuff. I've been Mitch. I'm not a witch. Turn me into a newt. Anyway, joining me has been Russell again.
Sup.
So let's you say goodbye at this point. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Goodbye. I'll say it for him.